Spencer, let's get your thoughts on this brand new 300 XC. What do you think?
It's the best off-road bike ever, possibly best bike ever. We've ridden this all over Utah on every type of riding you could imagine, from desert to more mountainous to, you know, real slow to faster, and it just does well everywhere. The bike chugs like it has a recluse on it. We laugh when guys want to put recluses on because this bike doesn't really need one. Just you can go basically at a stop, still not even have the clutch pulled in all the way, and it still just keeps on chugging and running. The bike feels really good on bottom, as well as when you're going down a nice sandy riverbed. You can just hold it wide open. Does well on hill climbs. And then the bike itself feels comfortable when you're riding it. It's comfortable to stand up on, comfortable to sit down. Of course, we have all the nice protection of insurance of not breaking anything, but these things are so good to ride that you hardly will ever lay it down. And we love this bike. And it's,
No, wait a minute. I lay it down plenty.
you lay it down a lot, but if you're...
You don't.
I don't.
Okay. Now, also, some people might just go, oh, he's just saying whatever his dad says. We don't agree. Do we agree all the time?
No.
So I'm not forcing you to say that this
No.
thing's awesome.
It's a good bike.
So, and this would be the bike you would choose to ride?
Yeah.
You need to get a really good job so you can buy your
if I
own.
spend my money, yeah, it'd be this.
All right. Thanks, Spencer. Hey, so now we have like 3 or 4 days now on this 19300 XC, and again, it's an amazing bike. So to answer a few questions here, I think this is probably the best trail bike out there, period. These KTM 300s, and we've been beating this thing up. We went on 5 miles of hell trail in southern central Utah, and that was a way we broke it in. And that trail's you know, for someone like me, it's pretty tough. Spencer didn't have much problem. We did walk it up a couple sections, and he helped me up a few sections. We rode in Green River, and the next day, some really amazing stuff in Utah to ride this thing on. The Electron performed very well. So as far as this bike in stock form, I think it's probably the best trail bike you can buy. Now, you still, guys, again, that whole TPI thing is, guys are going to go, why don't you just get a TPI bike and I don't have to mess with the carburetor? We still feel like this is a better bike with either the Kian from JD Jetting or the Electron. For big changes in altitude, the Electron's really good, so we like that. This bike is amazing. It just runs really well. We're pretty happy with the gearing we had on it. You liked it, Spence? Yeah.
I mean, with that 51, it was really good. In the elevation, we do lose a little bit of power, and we're riding pretty high up here, so I thought that was pretty good. The thing is just amazing. Now, to answer the next question will be, if you have a 17 or 18, do you need to rush out and buy a 19? And, you know, KTM won't like this, but the reality is no. The 17 and 18 are just fine, and there's not a drastic difference. They did a few tuning things. The pipe is tucked in different. We've talked about that over here. It's the new body style plastic. So if you want to have the latest and greatest, maybe you're just, you know, you got money to burn, or you know, want to sell your high hour 17 or 18, then it's going to be good. But if you have a good 17 or 18 that runs really good, you don't have to go out and sell it to buy one of these. So this is the new generation motor with the counterbalancer that just runs really well and no vibration. Now, if you have an older bike, an older 300 than 17, then I would say yes, this would be a bike to go get. 17, 18, or the 19 is the new version. So all of our mods in this thing just is kind of, with trail bikes for us, we do like to make them really bulletproof. You know, with hand guards, skid plates, pipe guard. We beat up that pipe guard, or I did. I was pretty hard on it. All of our, you know, Fastway stuff, and just great stuff for all of our riding we did on this trail ride. We'll leave a little bit of GoPro at the end. You can check out from some of those rides in Green River and in the 5 Mile Trail in the San Rafael Swells, the name of the area where it's at in Utah. So again, I think this is probably the best two-stroke bike out there, trail bike, period, two-stroke or four-stroke. And now a couple reasons for that, just real quick, is when I would bounce off a four-stroke, we'd go, man, it's pretty good. But when I get in the tight stuff, I'd overheat the four-stroke. I wouldn't overheat this. And even Spencer hopped off the 4-stroke and said, man, this 4-stroke's pretty dang good. And then he'd hop on this and go, what'd you think?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, that's pretty good. Now, that's not to say that, you know, we got a lot less money in that 4-stroke because we got it used, and you can convert a bike. So, like we've said in other videos, everything I did on this bike, a good rider can do all this stuff on a $3,000 bike rather than a $10,000 bike. So that's always something to remember. If you want to have the best trail bike, then you can go this route. You can also fix up a good 4-stroke, fuel-injected 4-stroke, and make yourself a good trail bike. That way you're going to have to kickstart it typically because you're not going to have electric start. The Husky we have, the Husqvarna 270 we have, right back there, we've done things on that bike, and that bike is really good and has electric start. And so there are things you can do and save yourself a bunch of money, and will still accomplish everything we could do on this thing. But for me, in my condition, this bike is lighter feeling. I can ride all day long. I can ride a lot longer with this bike. And so when I get tired and I'm sitting down and I'm tired, I can still feel more control in this bike, where the 4-stroke, whatever size it was, 250, 350, or 450, it would be just too much for me on the end of a 50 mile. We did like 55 miles on Friday, just last week, and this thing, I felt really good in this thing. It was a tough ride after all of our other rides. So anyway, hopefully that gives you some insight. The suspension's amazing, stock, and factory connection even made it a little bit better for us. And it's an amazing bike. So if you can, save up your nuggets, go get a new KTM 300 XC.